A Farewell to Arms is set during World War I and narrated by Frederick Henry, an American serving as an ambulance driver in the Italian Army. The novel opens with Henry's introduction to the war's bleak and chaotic reality. He describes the constant rain, the ever-present threat of bombardment, and the sense of disillusionment that permeates the soldiers' lives. Henry's narrative introduces several key characters, including his Italian friend, the opera singer Rinaldi, and the Scottish nurse, Helen Ferguson. However, the central relationship of the novel is between Henry and Catherine Barclay, an English nurse he meets at the British hospital in Gorizia. Catherine is grieving the death of her fiancé in the war, and she initially engages in a flirtatious and somewhat detached relationship with Henry. As the war intensifies, Henry and Catherine's connection deepens. During a retreat following the disastrous Battle of Caporetto, Henry is separated from his unit and witnesses the brutal execution of Italian officers by their retreating troops. He is nearly executed himself but manages to escape by jumping into a river and floating downstream. This experience marks a pivotal moment in Henry's disillusionment with the war. Following his escape, Henry travels to Milan, where he reunites with Catherine. Their relationship intensifies, and they discover that Catherine is pregnant. They decide to flee to neutral Switzerland to avoid arrest and to build a life together. In Switzerland, Henry and Catherine find a temporary respite from the horrors of war. They live a simple, idyllic life in a small mountain village, enjoying their time together and anticipating the birth of their child. However, their happiness is overshadowed by the knowledge that their peace is fragile and temporary. As Catherine's pregnancy progresses, she experiences complications. The labor is difficult and prolonged, and Catherine suffers from severe pain. Henry remains by her side, offering comfort and support, but he is powerless to alleviate her suffering. Catherine gives birth to a stillborn son. Shortly after, she dies from hemorrhaging. Henry is left alone, devastated by her death and the loss of his child. He walks back to his hotel in the rain, feeling utterly empty and disillusioned. Throughout the novel, Henry's narrative is marked by a sense of detachment and understatement. He avoids expressing overt emotions, preferring to convey his feelings through his observations and actions. This minimalist style, characteristic of Hemingway's writing, emphasizes the emotional impact of the events he describes. Henry's experiences in the war and his relationship with Catherine lead him to reject abstract ideals and embrace a more immediate and sensual approach to life. He finds solace in simple pleasures, such as food, drink, and love, and he seeks to live in the present moment, free from the illusions and deceptions of the larger world. Commentary. A Farewell to Arms is a seminal work of American literature. It captures the disillusionment and existential angst of the post-World War I generation. Hemingway's stark, minimalist prose and focus on concrete details create a powerful and emotionally resonant narrative. The novel's exploration of love, loss, and the search for meaning in a chaotic world remains relevant today. Henry's rejection of abstract ideals and his embrace of a more immediate and sensual approach to life reflects a profound shift in cultural values. The novel's tragic ending, while devastating, underscores the fragility of happiness and the inevitability of loss, leaving a lasting impression on the reader. Rain, a recurring motif in the novel, symbolizes Henry's pervasive sense of loss and despair. It also foreshadows the tragic outcome of Catherine's childbirth and death. In conclusion, A Farewell to Arms is a poignant and powerful meditation on the human condition. It explores the fragility of love and the inevitability of loss in the face of war and mortality.